Cortisol doesn't care how hard you run. In fact, the harder you run, the more it fights you. There's a reason the people grinding themselves into the pavement every January still have the same stomach in March and a completely different group of people walking at a pace you could hold a conversation in are the ones who actually lose the gut. Today I'm giving you 5 ways to turn an ordinary walk into something closer to a hormonal reset button. Stick around for hack 4. It's the one almost nobody does, and it's the one that matters most if your belly fat is stress-driven. Picture the treadmill crowd, red-faced, drenched, gutting through 45 minutes of sprint intervals because someone told them no pain, no gain. Here's the problem. That much intensity tells your body it's under attack. Under attack, your body does not release stored fat. It hoards it, especially the fat around your organs. Visceral fat, which responds to stress. Hormones almost like a lockbox. Push too hard, too often, and you can spend a month training and end up looking softer, not leaner. There's another path, not lazier, just tuned to how your biology actually works. We're going to call it the low and slow protocol, and it starts with understanding fuel selection. Your body runs on 2 main fuels, fast-burning glucose and slow-burning fat. Sprint and your heart rate spikes into emergency territory. Your body assumes it needs fuel now, so it burns sugar and dumps cortisol to manufacture more of it by breaking down muscle. You finish depleted, hungry, and no closer to your goal. Walk at a conversational pace, though, and your body reads the situation as safe. No emergency means no rush, so it defaults to its slow, efficient fuel source, fat. You'll burn fewer total calories per minute than running, but a much higher share of them come straight from the fat stores you're trying to shrink. This is the basis of what exercise physiologists call the fat max zone, the intensity at which fat oxidation peaks, generally somewhere around 60-65% of max heart rate for most people. Now here are the 5 ways to actually use that zone. Timing beats duration. If you're carrying visceral fat, there's a good chance your cells are somewhat resistant to insulin. The receptors are sluggish, so your pancreas has to overproduce insulin just to clear sugar from your blood. More circulating insulin means more fat storage. The fix, a 10-15 minute walk within 15-20 minutes of finishing your biggest meals. Muscle contraction opens a glucose doorway into your cells that doesn't require insulin at all. So your legs start pulling sugar out of your bloodstream mechanically before it ever gets the chance to spike insulin or convert to fat. A study in nutrients found that just 30 minutes of brisk walking after meals blunted post-meal glucose spikes, regardless of what the meal contained, and a broader meta-analysis in sports medicine concluded the effect is strongest when the walk happens, immediately after eating, rather than later or beforehand. This one sounds odd, but it's your built-in intensity gauge. The most common mistake, walking so fast it turns into cardio, or so slow it does nothing. Close your mouth. Breathe only through your nose for the entire walk. The moment you feel the urge to gasp through your mouth, you've overshot the fat-burning zone and drifted into sugar-burning, cortisol-raising territory. Nasal breathing also naturally caps your pace at a level where oxygen stays abundant, keeping you in the aerobic zone where fat oxidation actually happens. As a bonus, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side. So, you're burning fat while actively telling your nervous system to calm down. Your body adapts fast. Do the same walk long enough and it gets cheaper. Fewer calories for the same distance. To keep progress moving without adding hours, add a light load. A backpack with 5-10 pounds of water bottles or books is enough. Research on loaded walking shows that carrying roughly 10% of your body weight raises energy expenditure by somewhere in the 10-20% range, a real bump for zero extra time. It also recruits your core, glutes, and lower back to stabilize the load, turning a lower body activity into something closer to full body conditioning, all while your heart rate stays in the fat-burning range. This is the one that targets the actual cause of the fat, chronic stress signaling. If you're scrolling your phone while you walk, you get the mechanical benefit, but you miss the nervous system benefit entirely. Staring at a small screen keeps your eyes locked into a narrow, high-focus mode that your brain associates with vigilance, not rest. Walking outside, or at minimum, looking up at the horizon instead of down at a screen, your eyes and attention widen out, which is one of the simplest, lowest effort ways to bring your stress baseline down over the course of the walk. You're not just burning what's already there. You're turning down the signal that keeps telling your body to store more of it. First thing in the morning, insulin is at its lowest point of the day and glycogen is partially depleted, meaning there's nothing blocking access to fat stores. A 15-20 minute walk before breakfast taps into that window directly. It also has a second job. Morning light exposure anchors your circadian rhythm. which helps your cortisol curve peak early and fall properly at night. Better sleep tonight means better insulin sensitivity tomorrow, a loop that compounds in your favor the longer you keep it running. None of these 5 require you to suffer. That's not an accident. The fitness industry sells exhaustion because exhaustion sells memberships. But your body doesn't release stored fat under duress. It releases it when it feels safe enough to. Stack these 5: timing, breath, load, attention, and light. And you're not fighting your biology, you're finally working with it. Tonight, skip the workout. Take the walk instead.